Here we are on beautiful Jones Street.
You saw Ted Jones.
So it was really dangerous. So the reason we moved was because we got robbed. Yeah. Grabbed me. They put me in the elevator with a guy. He's got a gun to me.
What's up, dude? I hope you weren't offended last night when I said you had a Spanish last name. You know, I was just trying to make you familiar with the audience.
No, absolutely, dude. I'm trying to use whatever. I'm trying to use whatever opportunity I have to let people know that I'm Hispanic, yo.
Yeah. I feel like you don't really give off a Hispanic vibe.
Not at all, Papi.
Like no accent, but you were born in Venezuela. And then moved to South Florida.
Yeah.
So those are two very like Spanish things. Let's start from the beginning, bro.
Yeah, well, so I was born in Venezuela, and then I moved to South Florida, aka North Cuba. That's what that is, dude. It's just a bunch. Like that's why I kind of relate more with Cubans than I do with Venezuelans.
Well, was it North Miami?
No, it was just like all of South Florida when I moved there. Just straight up Cubans, dude. Like you go down there, everyone's talking to you in a restaurant. Everyone's talking in Spanish first. Everyone's talking in Spanish. So then when you don't speak Spanish, you're like, okay, how can I help you? You know, so it's like that's kind of like, but Cubans speak a very specific Spanish where they throw in like just an English word out of nowhere. So it'll be like, ay, mira que este apartamento, qué cute. You know what I mean? Este apartamento es que me encanta todo. El mirror, qué bello.
Why do you think they do that? Just because the Americans infiltrating Miami over the last 25, 30 years?
I think it's like their way of like, all right, we're here. We'll throw
They're
in
like, yeah, we'll learn English a little bit.
Yeah. This is the best we're going to do.
Yeah,
you know?
That's hilarious. So what part of South Florida? My dad's actually, he lives in Miami.
Oh, nice.
South Beach.
Oh, shit.
So I'm going down there in like 2 weeks, bro. I'm debating if I'm going to do comedy while I'm down there or not. Just because I'm down there 3 nights. I'll see. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you're down there for 3 nights, just fucking enjoy it. Dude.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But anytime I leave New York, bro, I'm not sure if you feel the same way. I just get like comedy FOMO. I'm like, I could be in New York doing spots, especially if it's over a weekend.
Yeah, dude. When I leave, everyone makes it. The weekend that I leave.
Yeah, everyone gets their Netflix special
and
everything. That's
oh my
hilarious.
God, I got an agent and a manager in one show.
I can't believe I made $1 million at that show last night.
Yeah, and then my mom is just like, Igor, can you help me? I'm like, yes, mom.
So your family is in South Florida now, so like nobody's in Venezuela still? Or did you move to South
everybody
Florida?
Bounced. We all had to bounce, pretty much.
You had to bounce?
Kinda, yeah.
Was that like an inflation thing?
Just a crime.
Do you want another cup holder? Coaster.
Coaster, yeah. Let's not
make
fucking
you very
damage
comfortable,
this
bro.
fucking fly.
I mean, bro,
table.
I just have to wipe it down like every day anyways because I get some nugget on there, you know, dude, smoking a little fucking weed, brother.
Sure. I don't know if people do this. You got some swag, dude. You got some swag in this fucking in your digs right now.
How do you mean, man? Dude, nobody's ever fucking said that. Thank you.
First of all, I just peed in your bathroom. I sat down. I hope you don't mind that.
Okay.
Because that's how clean it was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But do you sit down when you pee in general?
Yeah. In my bathroom? Oh, yeah, absolutely. If somebody's got a clean bathroom, like, of course I'm going to christen this with my ass cheeks, man.
I love that.
It's so clean. It's so nice in there. I was like, dude.
You know what's interesting? Every time a comic goes in there and like leaves, I'll just Windex it down really quick. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know that. I mean, regardless, I was going to Windex it down. Of course, but you also, but you strike me as a clean guy.
Very well.
Like you don't like your hygiene doesn't weird me out.
I was told. I always thought I was clean, but I was told, Igor, you're not clean. You're tidy.
Who said that? A girl?
Yeah, my ex. And I was like, bitch, shut the. You don't fucking know me.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's why we broke up, dog.
Yeah. She nailed it though. She did nail it. I'm like very like everything's got to be organized, but then there's
so there could be like beard hairs on the sink. Is that what
no,
you mean?
That's not that bad, but it's like dust. I fucking hate.
Bro, I have dust everywhere,
it
probably in this apartment.
Sucks.
This table is the only place where I will make sure 100% there's never dust on it because I got fellas like you coming on the pod.
Yeah.
But bro, like under that chair over there, probably like under the fridge, maybe in the hallway a little bit, there's some dust. But I do my best to like, as soon as people come in here, just make sure that they're taking off as many outside
for sure
amount of clothes that they have, you know.
Books just fucking, they're like buddies with dust. What the fuck is going on? I got so many books, and then I just look. I'm like a weekend. I'm like, I just fucking dusted you.
Well, yeah, but I also like haven't read a lot of them. I would imagine that the ones in the middle, you know what I mean, probably aren't as dusty. Oh, how bad are your eyes, by the way?
I can't. I mean, no, I'm -2.5.
Okay, I'm -3.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You ever wear contacts though? I see your glasses a lot.
Yeah, but dude, contacts for me, it's like I want the freedom of doing this, of taking them off and taking them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, contacts after like, I don't know what it is, but like after maybe like 3 hours, I start feeling them.
That's got to be the case for a lot of people too. Like I feel like I'm in the rare portion of contact wearers where sometimes I'll sleep with them. I try not to.
Oh, yo.
But
so
like,
I do. When I first started, like when my visions first started going to shit in college, that's all I did was rock contacts, and I would wear them from the beginning of class till after practice was over. So we're talking like 8 in the morning till like 8 at night. And then I went in for an eye appointment, and then they showed me like this thing is like, you see that green thing around your eye? I'm like, yeah. That's because the contact is latching on to your fucking eye. How long are you wearing them? I'm like 8 in the morning to 8 at night. Like, that is a problem. That is a huge problem. You got to get glasses. And
damn. Because I do that shit on the regular. Like I'll have them on from 8 a.m. until 12 a.m.
You got dailies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was rocking the 2 weeks for like 2 months.
You played hockey where again?
Norwich University.
Norwich University. Yes, we talked about this. In Vermont.
In the middle of bumfuck Vermont.
What
dude.
division? Is that NAIA or D3?
No, it's NCAA, but it's D3.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to go play college hockey? Was that like a high school aspirations of yours?
So I started playing roller hockey. I was a fat kid.
You were?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
I was a fat kid, dude.
Or too many chimichangas?
Too many empanadas.
Too many empanadas.
Dude, we got this. Venezuelans have this fucking. It's a drink, and it's called chicha, and it's literally like what's that shit called? Condensed milk.
It's like cream, but on another level.
Yeah, and then we put like fucking canela. We put cinnamon on it. It is so fucking good, dude. But it is just straight fucking condensed milk into your fucking veins. It is delicious, but it's like so fattening.
Yeah.
Venezuelan food is fucking delicious. But I was a fat kid, and my dad literally was like, at one point, he's like, dude, you got to do something. You can't. You're too roly-poly. So he's like, you got to pick something in the summertime. So I picked roller hockey, of all things, because there's a roller hockey rink right by our apartment. Played that for 4 years, transitioned to ice, and I just fucking fell in love with it. Like the way kind of I fell in love with comedies, kind of like I call hockey like my first love. And then I just like, dude, I was just a rink rat. I was just always at the rink, always trying to get better. And then I kind of finagled to getting onto a junior team, like a developmental team between like high school and college. And then from there, I got a guy who helped me be a walk-on at Norwich University, because there's only 2 tiers of NCAA. There's D1 and D2. And as far as for like D3 programs, I mean, they're like one of the best in the country. Like we won the national championship my sophomore year.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So you're serious D3.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Were there anyone
sick barn?
Were there anybody who anybody who went to Norwich and then went pro and like played in the NHL?
Yeah. We had this guy, Curtis McLean was the big one. Adrian O'Coin. I know his last name was O'Coin. I think it was Adrian O'Coin. So those are the 2 big ones. I skated with Curtis McLean one summer at Norwich when I was like helping out with his hockey camp. Dude, it's like on another level. The way these guys...
What's so different about them?
Dude, just like everything they do in like snap moments, but everything is so much faster. Like the way they pass, when they pass to you, the puck just like, it's like perfectly on your tape, but it's fucking hard. It's like perfectly right where you put your, they passed it before you even put your blade down, and then it's like right on your stick. But then like you don't have the wherewithal to like control a pass like that. And then their shot is just like, and then, you know, kind of like you're a big tennis guy. You watch soccer a lot?
Yeah.
You know,
not like a lot, but I watch it a lot.
You know, when like you see a guy where he just has like a
soft foot,
a soft touch.
Yeah.
Like that shit in hockey, dude. It's like when you got a puck on the backhand or something like that. Just little things like that. They're just to another level. And you're just like, oh, that's the difference.
Every time you level up in sports, it just seems like the pace of the game goes so much quicker. And the way amateurs will describe it is like, yeah, it's just so much faster. Even tennis, baseball, the pitches are getting faster. It's just things get faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you also, like, at least for me, when you're in like a kind of like getting better is when that should become second nature. Like when I first stopped playing from college and just like stopped playing competitive and just way more amateur and just like rec league shit, and then you just like turn it on kind of, because like, oh yeah, like I've been doing this for so long. It's the same thing with stand up, where you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about, and then you just get up there and then you just like turn it on, and then you're just like able to command a room. It's that same kind of like second nature that I think you develop from playing like competitive sports.
Do you ever play in any adult leagues?
I did for a while, and then
did it just get too insanely competitive with some of those other guys? I can imagine,
dude. So the one in Chelsea Piers, that was the most competitive rec league I've ever played in. It was crazy, dude. We had guys
just a bunch of finance guys who used to play D1, like at Cornell and
dude,
stuff.
One team
Harvard.
was just Dartmouth. So you're like getting older, and then they just keep getting
they just have a team.
Yeah, so they just have like a team, and then like guys that are from Dartmouth, like, hey, if you're gonna, because like they're probably like in the same kind of like majors and stuff. So they're like, they get a job in the city, and then they knew a guy that they played with like the year before or whatever, who graduated. So they're like, hey, do you want to come play for our team? And it's just like, oh, you're just playing against a new fucking Dartmouth guy that graduated last year, and then you're just getting older and older. But one year we did beat them. One year we won the whole title. That was really fun.
What team did you play for?
We played.
Did you just play like with other guys that were good?
Yeah. So I got linked up with this dude who played at Middlebury, who's like a huge rival to Norwich in Vermont.
Middlebury is Division 1 in hockey, though?
No, it's D3.
Okay.
They're like...
Yeah, they have D3 tennis, too. They're very good at athletics, like all around.
Yeah. So that's a great school. It's like, they call them the Little Ivies, the Nescacs.
Okay.
So it's like the Middlebury's.
Yeah, Amherst.
Yeah. Like Williams College, Bowdoin.
Bro, I visited Bowdoin.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the grades to get in. I don't even know why I went up there. I just like met the coach. It was a waste of time. And then as I got there, I was like, this place has got nothing going on. And then I went to UConn. It was kind of the same situation, but at least we had a really good sports program.
Yeah.
Like
and you also have a huge population.
Yeah, but it was just so different from New York City life because this is where I grew up.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, that's
Quinnipiac,
wild.
Quinnipiac was insanely good.
That's New Haven.
Yeah, right next to New Haven.
Yeah, New Haven.
I forget the name of the town. It's
Malden?
Hamden.
That's
what it is.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
We'd go there and we'd beat them in tennis, and then they'd play our hockey team and shut them out or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Hockey was okay, but Quinnipiac was...
They just won the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Insane.
That's wild. Yeah. And like against like a fucking program like they beat University of Minnesota, which is like,
Do they recruit in college hockey? Do they recruit from like Eastern Europe and all over the world like they do in other sports? Or I guess not football.
So
sports.
I think a lot of like Europeans are kind of catching wind of the college hockey programs.
Like how good they are?
Yeah.
Like St. Cloud, so random.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I played, I don't know how well you know hockey.
Give me a little bit.
Do you know Alex Ovechkin?
Yeah, of course. He's the best hockey player right now.
Yeah, so...
DC...
You got this.
Capitals.
Yeah.
Let's go, son.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
You really pulled that one out.
I skated at least like 10 to 15 times when I was younger at Chelsea Piers.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I don't know if my parents were telling me, they're convincing me that they didn't really want me to get into hockey just because of, like, the amount of work that it takes for a parent to become a hockey parent. I feel like it's way different. Like you're waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning, taking them to the ice at 6, but you got into it a little bit later. Where your parents weren't as involved, or no?
No, my mom was like really involved.
Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah, she really enjoyed it. She really. My mom gets off on like, so my parents got divorced, and then my mom gets off on like being the the alpha woman. Loves that shit, dude. So like she was always the only woman.
But both of your parents are from Venezuela?
Yeah. Okay. Both born there. And so she was the only one she was always the only woman there. It was always like either both couples or like dads. So she just got off on like just being fucking.
Okay, I cut you off right before Ovechkin. Go ahead.
So Ovechkin's best friend, this guy Nikita Kashirski, went to Norwich.
Dude, that's an insane name. Nikita Kashirski.
Nikita Kashirski.
He's lefty?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that, dude?
Filthy.
Why are there so many lefty hockey players when like...
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
And that's also like skateboarding too. People like skateboard goofy.
Instead
of regular. I don't know why there's so many lefties. Goofy is when you put your right foot forward and your left foot back. Regular is when you have your left foot forward and right foot back. Well, you don't see it as much in snowboarding, but you see it so much in skateboarding. People goofy.
Did you skateboard a lot?
A little bit. To middle school, I still have a skateboard over here, but it was like 3 blocks away. I never really like the half pipe. I can only ollie. Ever.
Yeah.
But it was like very city. There weren't many skate parks and stuff, so not really, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy Nikita Kashirski.
You know what's I think I didn't know this because this just came. I'm a righty, so this just came naturally to me. But apparently, your top hand is supposed to be your dominant hand. So a lot of lefties are supposed to be like righties. You know what I mean? So like that. So like actually, because there are so many lefties, they're actually righties.
Interesting.
So that's what I know. But anyways, I played with. So he's like full-fledged Russian, dude. He's such a, he's Russian, obviously. And then like, I don't really remember. I think he probably did like some prep school and that's how we get. and then he kind of wound up
like an extra year.
Yeah, and then I don't know how he kind of wound up at Norwich of all places, but it's like top D3 programs. I'm sure you probably know this. It's usually like guys who can play D1, but like are fucking dumbasses and can't get the grades.
Well, that would kind of be in terms of tennis. That's like D2 though.
Oh, okay. You guys got D2.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like the D2 at a high level is pretty competitive, but I guess it kind of skips the D2 in hockey.
Yeah, there's like D2 is it's D2-3, but like there's only technically like two. Or five, or at the time I was playing like 5 Division II programs.
Like Montana State?
No, like Wentworth. I don't know if you've heard of Wentworth. It's a tiny little engineering school in Massachusetts, like Salem State or something like that. It's weird, but then all the D3 programs like say Norbert's, Norwich, Middlebury, they all kind of crush them. So it's like, all right, it's all the same. You know what I mean? So this dude, Nikita Krashirski, he was kind of he was one of those guys that like, he's just so super fucking talented, just so much better than everybody, but like didn't play the game like he should have. Like he just tried to like dipsy doodle around everybody. And it's like, dude, you're kind of like disrespecting everybody by not just playing hard and like back checking. And you know what I mean? Like he could take the game over if he wanted to, but he just would rather play like a flashy kind of game.
When you say back checking, do you mean like someone's on the boards and like to actually like be aggressive?
No, like coming back, like a forward. Like if the rush is coming against our team, you got to come back and like defend your house.
Like in Mighty Ducks D3, make the first move, Conway. That one? Or no?
No, like let's say like if the other team is rushing towards your net, you got to have guys like come back and help.
So play
defend.
defense.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
okay.
but we call it back checking from the back kind of. And but anyways, I remember one time he hooked up with this chick because he hooked up with everybody. He was like a fucking celebrity at our school. I mean, it wasn't that much of a fucking accomplishment, but he hooked up with this chick, and then the next morning he found out she was rolled over and she had shit in her thong. Yeah.
And he told everyone or what?
Oh yeah. Well, I think the other Ukrainian dude probably let it out, and then he was like, "All right, yes, it happened."
Did this guy play pro ever? I'm sure he would have experienced that many more times, but in National League?
No. He played like, so there's NHL, AHL, and then like East Coast. And I think he played, he was pretty successful in the East Coast. I think he won their like their league trophy there. He might have gotten a little playtime in the AHL.
Would you say that hockey is harder to make it than baseball? Maybe if you can compare the two, just with all the levels, college, then you talk about East and then AHL.
Yeah. To make it to like the show, like NHL versus MLB. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% sure because, I mean, I was going to say, cause like hockey's so international, but so is baseball.
Yeah.
So is baseball, and also like baseball's got fucking tons of minor leagues and teams and shit. So
I would just think that there's a good amount of places in the world that don't even think about playing baseball, but then there's also a good amount of places in the world that wouldn't even think about playing hockey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But also, like even getting drafted in baseball is kind of meaningless.
Yeah,
that's how hard it is. So it's like you get drafted first round in hockey, like you're getting a shot. You're getting a bona fide shot.
Same thing with baseball. Same thing with basketball, and same thing with football.
Yeah. Whereas like baseball, it's like I think what's his name, Bryce Harper was like a number 1 overall pick,
and
like
still was in the minors.
Yeah, but he's like fucking kind of killing it. But that's like the only person I know. Everybody else, they don't even talk about them as like their draft. It's like not that important.
Yeah,
until
like the 3rd or 4th year. I feel like, until they actually make it to the league.
Right. So, then they're like, oh well, he was kind of drafted.
When did you move to New York from Florida, Miami? Is that fair to say, Miami or South Florida?
No, at the time I was living in Orlando.
Okay,
that's where I started comedy there for like 9 months, and then I moved 2015. So I'm like 8 years in.
What made you start comedy in Orlando? What were you doing in Orlando? You had a job there?
Yeah, I was working as an engineer. That's where I got my degree in.
What kind of engineering?
Civil.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like building bridges?
Just fucking sewers and water mains, dude. It's the bane of my existence. I fucking hate it.
But you're doing something you love now, man.
Yeah, dude. If I would be a full blown alcoholic if I didn't have comedy. I would be like, comedy stops me from drinking. I mean, it also sometimes fucking, when you have a bad bomb, you're like, I just need a fucking drink right now.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, I'd probably be drinking just about close to every night, having a few pops, But But no, comedy's like this thing that, you know, I'm really passionate about, and it kind of, I want to like be as successful in it as I can. So like to limit all these other distractions that prevent me from it.
What was the first time you did it in Orlando though? What was the push?
So I was in a long distance relationship, and I just like had a bunch of time on my hands. And
she lived in Miami?
She lived in New York. Okay. So I was in the process of moving here, but I just like couldn't move here without a job. So I was like in the process of like applying, just endless applying, trying to get a job. And then I was at a fucking coffee shop, and they had like, you know, those ones with like the cork boards where they put all like, come to my fucking show or whatever, or like, you know, free house cleaning or whatnot. And they had a magazine with like Orlando Weekly, and there was like, oh, there's an open mic for comedy at this fucking coffee shop. And then I just went and just kind of like, and I did that for like 2 months, where I would just go and watch these open mics. And then I'd be like, oh, I can be this fucking bad. And how
often were the open mics?
So the one that I went to was just once a week, but I found out like you can get up just about every night in Orlando, at least once. I think like right before I left, that was like my big accomplishment was like I did 3 sets in one night on like a Friday. And then but you're like all the open mics, you're like in front of people. You're in front of fucking people all the time, and you're just kind of trying to figure it out. And then you come to New York, and it's like a huge reset. You know, you're like, oh,
open mics are not like that. Yeah.
No,
it just seems like everywhere besides New York City, I've heard about open mics being the talk of that town's particular night. You know, like everybody will go out.
Dude, I was driving up with this new car that I got, and I was supposed to do a gig in North Carolina, but the fucking club had like an electrical fire, so I was just scrambling to get some stage time. And then finally, someone was like, "Hey, man, there's an open mic in this space, whatever." And I was like, oh, "Fuck, I think that's all I got." And then I went to it. There's 15 fucking regular people just hanging, like literally sitting down. They set up the stage and everything, and there's like 15 fucking people, and you just work normal people. You're like, "Fuck, this is great. How you guys?" And then, you know, you got some people who are like, "Oof, just some cringy, rough comedy, yo."
I bet, dude, because a lot of people just like go up there and talk about their day. I feel like in a rural area. So then there was so much damn traffic on the I-9.
Dude, I love
like my head.
You know what I fucking love are like Southern black comics who are like starting out. Oh, they're the best, dude. If they come on stage with just so much charisma, but like the writing isn't there. Be like, I said goddamn. And then they just like do that after every joke that kind of bombs, but you're like, dude, I love this guy.
Yeah, just keep the charisma up and the writing.
Yeah,
there you go.
The writing gets there, you'll be
comic.
you'll fucking kill it.
So how did you meet this girl? You are still not with her, correct?
No.
What was that? She was the reason you moved to New York? This girl?
Carly, she was in, like, that was the original plan. And then kind of, you know, when you start comedy, you're like, well, I guess it's kind of convenient that I'm going to move to the place that has like the best comedy in the world. But yeah, I mean, the original intention was to move here for her.
How'd you meet her?
We met when I was like 14 years old. We were in high school. We were in middle school together.
So like middle school sweethearts?
Not really. Then we had a class in 9th grade. That's where we really got to know one another. And then like just keeping in touch little by little. We were like pen pals in college.
Where'd she go to college?
She went to UCF, University of Central Florida.
So you guys were together during college?
No. We just kept in touch. There was like this kind of like,
bro, that's beautiful, dude. Yeah, imagine being in a relationship long distance like that. You're in Vermont. She's at UCF. God knows how many fucking shirtless men are down there.
I know.
Shit.
Well, we weren't in a relationship.
No, I know. That's what I mean. If you were, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Babe, you had a pool party?
No. I was not like, dude. I mean, we were together from 24 to 30, and I was like, wasn't even prepared for the emotional like baggage that comes with being in a relationship then. So it's like I couldn't even imagine like fucking 8 years before that or whatever.
And then moving to New York must have been a whole new. I mean, even starting a chapter of your relationship where like you started getting into comedy more so. She wasn't aware that you were going to need to be out every night, I'm sure, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, she was there for my first set. Because she had flown down. It was Valentine's Day weekend, so she had flown down. And then I was like, hey, I'm just like thinking about doing this thing. And she's like, what thing? And then I told her, and she was like, oh my God, you have to do it.
Oh, that's good.
She was super supportive. She's like, I have to watch. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be awful. So I was like, it was a fine enough experience for like, you know, someone that you're with to watch it your first time. Everybody, you know, they said it was my first time, so everyone's super supportive, and it went well enough. So it was good, but then then there's like this readjustment when you're doing it every night, and you got to, like, I tell people now that from my experience, it's like when you're with someone and you're doing comedy is the third person in that relationship. Like that's the way you have. I think you have. Like I wish I would have known that and looked at it that way. It's like, listen, I'm spending my time with this, but then at the same time, it's like, but then also early on is so tough because you just got to get up. You have to be getting up all the time, and just to be getting more and more comfortable, just to be getting better at it. So, I mean, at first we made a deal where I was like, listen, because she works and I work, I would do Monday through Fridays. Monday through Fridays, I would get up, and then Saturday and Sundays were just us, which is like awful for comedy.
Well, maybe not Sunday, but yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, so, you know, it's like, but I was just like still doing like fucking shit open mics. And like, if I would have done it now, I would be like, hey, I'll just like, it would just be, you just piece it together, because there are some nights where it's like, it's open. And there's some nights where like you have to be out. So it's like,
you can't really set a schedule with
stand-up. That's what I learned. That's what I learned, Ted. And
yeah, man, it's just, I feel like we go through so many different periods of our stand-up career. Like each year it changes.
Oh, for sure.
So it's got to be very difficult for people to start stand-up comedy with your girlfriend from high school and then 10 or 15 years later still be with that same person, just because you change so much.
Yeah. And but then also I think it's so important for any relationship. It's like, you can't just be codependent on each other. Like you have to each have your own thing, you know? And like, if like, I met this dude like recently who's like, he was telling me his situation with his girl and stuff. And like, you know, I'm just like, going from my own experience, I was kind of like,
is he in the game?
He's
like
in
a few years.
Yeah, he's in it a little bit. And then I was like, but he's like, yeah, but my girl does her thing. Like she's got her own thing that she's really passionate about. Good. And I was like, and it's like, we barely see each other, but when we do, it's like really exciting and fun. I'm like, dude, that's kind of like the way to do it, in my opinion, you know, because you have to have your own life, especially in this fucking city. You have to have your own kind of fucking lives. And then when you do have time, it's like you just, and then if not, like you make time obviously for each other. But like you kind of have to have your own thing outside of the relationship for it to be a healthy relationship, in my opinion.
Did you and your ex-girlfriend think about getting married at any point?
I mean, it just felt like I was much more immature than I am now, and I was in a place where I was like, my parents got divorced, nasty divorce, so I knew it as, for me, it's like marriage is a means to divorce. You know, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And her parents had been together forever, like fucking like 20-year-olds, you know, and they've been together for like 30 plus years or whatever. So she was like very into that. So at first we were like, I wasn't like, I was up front, I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I don't want to marry you, but I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I don't want to get married, you know? And then she was on board, and then slowly we're getting up in our 20s, we're going to more weddings, she's seeing the celebration of love, and it's like I think like
damn.
One of the things at the end was like, I think I do want to get married. And I was like, you know how I feel, you know that I do want, I was like, and again I just reiterate, I was like, I do want to spend the rest of my life with you. I don't see myself with anyone else but you, but I don't want to get married. And then there's definitely some friction there because of that, and then it's like, you know, some other things, and then it just fell apart.
You're not in a relationship too, right?
No, super single.
How's comedy going, bro?
It's going good, man. Yeah. It's like you said. I think that's the healthiest way to look at comedy. Is like, where was I at a year ago? And then it's like, well, we're moving forward. You know, if you're taking steps back, then you're like, oh, I got to fucking pick it up, or I got to reassess everything I'm doing. But nah, yo, it's going good. I'm happy. I'm in comedy. I'm like in a good place. You know, you have your ebbs and flows where you're like, fuck, like nothing, like. Sometimes you're just like, dude, all your new stuff's working. So you're just hitting that new stuff. You're seeing how much it works, and then it's all working all the time. But then like, you're just like a fucking drug addict. So like 2 weeks go by and you're like, all right, I got to get the next new stuff to work. And it's like, that just shit doesn't fucking happen, you know? Not every joke is going to hit right away. So I'm kind of in that place where it's like, I don't have a lot of new stuff, and then the new stuff that I got isn't really hidden. But it's like, dude, I'm in a good place. I'm like getting up pretty regularly in clubs. I'm like barely doing open mics now. So
do you ever do comedy in Spanish?
No.
Do you speak Spanish fluently?
Yeah, pretty fluently. Yeah, dude, I hit the sauna up twice a week.
Oof.
Yeah.
I need to start hitting that. I go to a gym that does not have it. I go to.
Oh, really?
It's like $40 a month, and it's just. I guess I have to bleep that out, but yeah, it's super close to my apartment, and they don't have any saunas. And if they did, I probably wouldn't use it because no way that shit is clean.
Oh,
but
no, dude.
You go to like an Equinox or something?
No, I go to New York Sports Club, dude. It's filthy.
All right.
I got my boy Freddy. He's Colombian, but like he's almost there because I go like around lunchtime. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's the best time to go.
Tuesdays and Fridays, dude, and he's always there. Him and this other dude.
Wait, he's in the sauna?
Yeah, he's always in the sauna.
How much time does he spend in there?
Dude, he's up to there. He's in there for like an hour.
Straight?
Yeah.
Bro.
He'll pop out and like take a cold shower, then pop back in.
Let's go. That's how you got to do it.
Dude, this guy's 70 years old, handsome as fuck. I would be like, dude, because he's got like the salt and pepper, I'd be like, this guy's straight up 50 years old. And he goes, no puedo perder la barriga. I can't lose my stomach. I can't lose the stomach. And dude, he's like barely, like a little bit bigger than me. And I just looked at him. I was like, Freddie, you're 70 years old. I think you're doing okay. And then he just laughs.
Love that.
Yeah. So now I literally, cause I'm in there like for like 40 minutes and I have yeah, dude, it's the best.
Damn.
It's the best. We just talk for 40 minutes all in Spanish. So that's been helping my Spanish a lot more.
Do you know him outside of the gym, or you only see him at the gym? Don't have his number.
I don't even see him in the fucking free weight area. I only see him.
Are you sure he exists?
In the sauna, yo.
Imagine he doesn't exist and it's just you in there, dude. That'd be fresh too.
That would be just me talking to myself in Spanish. Dude. Hey, it's getting better.
So I've just been, cold water immersion for like the past. Like 10 months. I haven't taken a warm shower in 10 months.
For real?
Just been going in there, dude, straight cold.
How's that been?
It's crazy. It's great. Like, I mean, I'll go in there and it doesn't really get much easier. Maybe some days it's easier than others. That's why you got such
good energy, yo.
But I'm also running outside too.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, I took my shirt off today when I was running. That was pretty nuts, dude, with that wind.
Yeah.
But I think cold water's been helping me. It's been like boosting my my whatever the shit goes up when you
mood.
Oxycontin. I mix smoking weed with doing that, and I think that helps me for the most part.
Damn, a cold high shower. I never even thought of that, yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sometimes I'll do that.
Fuck.
Yeah, dog. You know Wim Hof, this guy who talks about like his cold therapy. If you guys don't know about him, you should check him out. Wim Hof. He has a bunch of stuff on YouTube, and then I'm sure on a bunch of other platforms.
I thought that was breathing stuff, though.
It's breathing, but it's also like cold water immersion and breathing during these things. He does some sauna and hot stuff, but he's mostly just like a cold water kind of guru. Let
me ask you something. How do you think that's affected your immune system? Have you been getting sick less?
Well, in 10 months, I haven't gotten sick. Ooh. So yeah, but I mean, people really shouldn't be getting sick. I mean, maybe
dude,
people
I get sick. Like, I'm like sick all winter long.
Really?
I'm sick all winter long. But then
I'm also vegan.
Ooh.
So I've got a few things that I've been implementing together to try and make me as healthy as possible. You know what I mean?
How long have you been vegan?
Like 4 years.
Nice.
I had pretty invasive jaw surgery, so I couldn't eat meat for 3 months. So I just gave it up for the most part. Cold turkey, as they say. But the hardest thing for me was probably chicken during lunch, like in salads or chicken on sandwiches or anything. Do you eat a lot of chicken?
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some things that you'd eat that make you not a vegan? Like you eat cheese?
Eggs. A lot of eggs. Mostly eggs. Honey, which I know is like a hardcore vegan no-no. Cheese is like the one thing. And dude, I fucking love ice cream. I fucking love ice cream.
That's some stuff that might be clogging you up, dude.
Yeah.
In your lungs.
No.
No? You don't think so?
No. I take a pint of ice cream a week to my head.
That's not that much.
I know. But fuck, that's the happiest moment of my week.
The ice cream?
What
kind?
Yo, Ben and Jerry's the Tonight Dough. Have you had this shit? Tonight Dough.
Pop it up right here. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It is fucking, so it's like half baked. If you heard of half baked. It's like half baked, but on crack. Because there's like,
it's just more cookie dough.
There's like almost like Oreo crumbles in there, yo. It's the best thing that Jimmy Fallon's ever done.
He made the flavor.
He's like, it's because they're all like sponsored, so it's like the Tonight Dough based on the Tonight Show.
Oh, okay.
And then like
nice moves, Ben and Jerry.
Yeah, I know.
And they have some vegan ice cream now that they came out with. I haven't tried it, but
they have
let's see.
I don't know. They don't specifically say vegan, so I'm guessing it's not vegan.
They probably say plant-based.
They say non-dairy.
Yeah, that's an interesting play also.
Yeah,
it might not
yeah.
be vegan, but it's non-dairy. And I think when people hear the word vegan, they get turned off. People would much rather hear plant-based or non-dairy.
Sure. Why?
I think when it's had a stigma behind it just because that word has been used for negatively, I feel like, for the past 20 years. You know, these new phrases like non-dairy and plant-based seem to have just come around within like the last 5 years.
Rebranding.
So I think that's why people are starting to adjust to those type of words.
How many conversations have we had and I just found out that you're vegan? I think that's who ruined it, is the people who are like, I'm vegan. It's like, dude, I don't even know your fucking name yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
But I don't think I think people like those people don't exist anymore. Can we fucking evolve society?
Hell yeah. To eat what? To eat what?
Huh?
To eat less meat?
No, I'm saying to fucking cut vegans some slack, yo. It's like everybody's like, oh, you're a vegan, you're a piece of shit. And it's like, you guys just fucking, this is like your fourth time talking to him. And
sometimes people get aggressive about it. I'm like, bro, I'm not putting my shit on you, dog. Eat as much fucking chicken as you want, son. I don't care. You can get sick, man.
Dude, you'd be a murderer. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dude, I love watching. Like when I first started being vegetarian, I'd go to like these, like when on 4th of July I would roll around, I'd go to like barbecues and stuff. And I would just watch people prepare meat. Oh, it was like porn, yo. It was so, like this guy. I remember this guy just like fucking.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, man.
You couldn't eat it. You just
because I could still enjoy it, you know. Just and it's also like artistic.
Well, but how do you mean enjoy it though? Just like watching.
Just watching him. He was like slicing it, and then he was making the chimichurri that was to go along with it. That's
interesting, man. Like sometimes on my TikTok algorithm, I'll see like the street vendors in India and the way they're cracking those eggs and like slicing up the meat. I feel bad sometimes, but I'm like, oh, it's just like artistic. They're doing it the same way.
Yeah. It's dude, and he's just enough of the sprinkling, and then
sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think the name of that hot dog was?" People usually don't enjoy that.
Okay, you can have. What's the thing you miss most? You get one thing. You can have one cheat. It'll just be erased from existence, from your memory.
The thing is, if I answer that question, I feel like people will think that I already have cheated and eaten that. But
fuck those morons.
Yeah, you're fucking right. I walked by Subway today, and I remember I used to get the like turkey, cheese, that sugary bread, the lettuce and mayo sandwich. Like, dude, there was a time in college where I had 3 feet of Subway in one day. For 11 o'clock, I had a foot. 3 o'clock, I had a foot, and then like 7 p.m., I had a foot. I just felt like a Subway sandwich.
I love the measurement.
Yeah, dude, like, you know what I mean? You get the foot long. So insane,
dude. It's weird. It's funny that you said Subway because I mean, for all intents and purposes, no shade, but Subway's like pretty low quality.
Sure.
But I feel like when you go and you become like plant-based or whatever you want to fucking call it, the thing you miss most is never like fine meats. Like for me, one of the first things I missed, dude, was hot dogs.
Yeah, it's not like Kobe or Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that I've ever. I don't know if I've ever even had that.
Right, I wasn't like if somebody put like at the time somebody put down like a filet mignon or a fucking like really good ballpark like Nathan's, I'd be like, I'm taking the fuck.
Well, you know what it was? I think I definitely had a big phase in high school just because it was around the corner and we can go out for lunch during high school. So it was like the $5 foot long phase. Yeah. And then when I got to college, anytime we were on the road traveling, we would just get Subway. We'd get at least 2 feet of Subway a day. So I was just like, I loved it, dude. I was like smoking weed, eating Subway.
Yeah. Oh man. How do you feel? How long? When did you start smoking weed? How old were you?
The first time I did it was between 8th and 9th grade. I remember it was at tennis camp. This kid, Josh Cranen, we'll bleep that name out, but Josh Cranen gave me a hit when we were like out in the field, and I had a sweatshirt on at the time, and I ripped off my sweatshirt, went back to the tennis dorms, and we started like moving mattresses around. I didn't get high that first time, but then I remember probably like a month later, right as school was starting, September, I got high for like the first time, and it was like one of the greatest things in my life.
Yeah, dude, that first time.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun.
It's interesting how weed came out and people were probably not getting high the first time, but somebody was like, let's try it again. See if we'll get high. You know what I mean? And imagine how many people were smoking poison ivy and poison oak and just died right away to give us weed. Thank you to our forefathers. Yes, our trailblazers. Literally, man.
And it's crazy now what's happened with weed. You think it's gonna fuck people up, yo?
How do you mean?
It's just so accessible.
No, I think that we need to make it accessible to the point where it's like alcohol, though.
Gotcha.
Like you walk into a store, it's legit, it's accredited, FDA approved. You know what you're smoking, you know what you're getting. They check your ID at the door, and it's like getting alcohol.
Sure.
And then all the money should be funneled to the government. You know, like all states should have the same weed laws, in my opinion. I understand that there's different government and different laws in each state, but I just think it would be so beneficial for the United States to come out and be able to tax weed like they tax cigarettes, or tax weed like they tax alcohol.
Yeah.
It would just make things so much more clear. Like there's still sometimes when I go to the deli and I try and pick up baby Jeters. Do you know this?
No.
Baby Jeters. So it's like the
little pre-rolls.
Yeah. So it's a pack of 5, and it usually costs around $50. But the amount of times that they've attempted to try and sell me fake baby Jeters, it's like 50% of the time. I have to like look at the container, and I have to know exactly what I'm looking for. And no joke, like 50% of the time, it's just counterfeit Jeters.
Whoa.
Like, how is this happening? I'm going into a play like a deli, maybe not a licensed dispensary, but I'm going into a deli and they're trying to sell me fake joints that somebody in the back wrapped up or whatever it is. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I guess you are right.
We have to streamline it way better.
Yeah. Yo, do you ever smoke that like synthetic shit?
K2? Yeah, in college when they were drug testing me, I used to smoke it. It was terrible.
It's brutal.
It was terrible. I hate it. I think the worst headaches.
Dude, it literally fucking made my roommate brain dead. So we do the same thing. So like our cutoff was New Year's, so that was like our last time to smoke because we knew that
in college.
Yeah, so we knew by the time like the NCAA tournament rolled around, it'd be like 3 months, so we'd be clear. But this guy just loved smoking weed, and he would just smoke that shit. He would smoke fucking Spice, K2, all that shit. And we did it like a couple times, but then I'd be like, no, dude, this is bad. I just feel my brain. This isn't good. And he just kept smoking, and then he became like a fucking big drug dealer, or like just big drug addict, like taking pills, taking like bars, all that shit. You ever smoke what's that shit that fucking makes you hallucinate?
Kratom?
No.
Oh, that other stuff that you could find you can't find it anymore.
Yeah,
it was like you smoking it made you nuts for like 5 minutes.
For like 15 minutes.
What is it, dude?
Yo. It's like at the tip of my tongue.
I know.
I think
it was ka. Well, how should I Google this?
For me, a big thing is exercise.
I think for me, exercise and doing the stuff I do is probably like 65 to 70% mental. The other physical part is great, but like,
yeah.
I'm not walking around my apartment, shirts off, flexing, trying to do bicep curls like for the physical part. I just like get that mental part done, and then I take it throughout the rest of my day.
Yeah. Exercise has been, dude. I was working out like every other day, and then once I started doing like 6 times a week, it just changed me mentally. It was like, holy fuck, I'm just like so much clearer, way less like depressive episodes. It's a game changer.
And we're just learning this too. I feel like when we learned the phrase plant-based and non-dairy like 5 years ago, that's really when people starting to put their time in the gym.
Yeah. But dude, it fucking infuriates me when people fucking like they do all these other fucking shits for mental health except exercise. That shit drives me crazy. I want to fucking call them all cowards. You're all fucking cowards.
When I tell people sometimes that I fast, for the most part, like I'll intermittent fast. Like I didn't eat until 4 o'clock today, and I'll do that. Nice. I'll do that most days. And people hear that though, they're like, "That's unhealthy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, I've done a good amount of research on this particular topic to know that if I fast 16 to 18 hours a day, I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
You know, there's enough research out there for that. And I think people want to think that what they're doing is the best.
Sure.
You know? Well, or their research is the best.
Sure. But also it's like, just stop being a fucking moron. It's just the best for you. It's the same thing with like stand up when like that comic sucks. And it's like, does he? Because everybody else was laughing. It's like, yeah, the comic ain't, he like, it's not for you. And that's all right. But don't put like this blanket thing over it. Like, oh, that's fucking stupid. Or like, no, you think that's stupid. You think that's fucking dumb. You don't think that's good. And that's fine, dude. You're entitled to your opinion. But fucking like to put this blanket statement over shit, it's like.
Fact.
Ugh.
What's been your best moment in comedy thus far?
That's a good question, actually.
Bro, we've hung out a lot, you and I, the past, like, what, 3 weekends?
Yeah.
It's been nice.
Yeah, it's been like, and this is like, dude, December is like the best month of comedy.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. How long have you been doing comedy?
Like 4 years. I'd say like seriously full time, 2.5 years, but 4 years for the most part.
Dude, have you caught that wave between Christmas and New Year's? It is hands down the best week of comedy. The best week of comedy is coming in like 2 weeks. It's crazy, yo.
There's a 10 p.m. spot on Christmas. You think that show will be packed or no?
No. No.
That's 26. What I was thinking. Oh, the 26th.
26.
Bro, that's when I'm going to Miami.
Damn. All right. You coming back? You're going only for 3
years?
I'm
coming back.
Yeah, you're coming back like the 29th, 28th?
30th.
Yeah, dude. You got the 30th and the 31st. We're crazy.
We're good. Toasting.
But like that week, dude, it's like, so Monday is Christmas. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, retarded shows. Crazy good shows. And it's just like people are in good spirit. People are on vacation. It's like every day is the day before a holiday. You've seen those days when it's like Monday's Memorial Day. So like Sunday would be banging. Every one of those days is like that. And then the fucking clock strikes midnight in the first and it just goes down the fucking toilet. And
for January?
Yeah, nobody wants to be outside. Everybody's like fucking doing their bullshit ass New Year's, what are those fucking things called? When I'm going to go to the gym now. I'm going to...
Resolution.
Yeah, resolution.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to go
eggs.
out. Yeah. And then, so it's like, it all goes downhill in January. Well, at least for like most of the clubs that I've been working at. But dude, that fucking week...
So that was in the past. That's been some of your best times in comedy.
It's been so fun, dude. Because like the best time in comedy, the best. I think the best. It's like when the whole show is good. You know, when like the host goes up top, he kills. Everyone's just killing, and the audience is happy. All the fucking comics are like, you know, when you're like in a hang with comics, and you can just sense that there's the chemistry is off a little bit. You know, people have bad days. You're having a good day. Some people are having a bad day. You're just like, you know, you're not flowing. But then when the hang is like everybody's on it and then like everybody's fucking chiming in and saying something funny, that's when it's like the best. When it's just a good fucking time, you know, everybody's experiencing a good time. That's like my favorite, yo. But this year I hosted for this like, he's a good stand-up, but he's only been doing it for like a year to 2 years now. But he's got like 700,000 followers on Instagram. He sold out New York Comedy Club Stanford, like 300-person room, and I hosted that shit. And like that experience was really fucking cool because like I'm a nobody, you know. But like, yeah, I feel like I got some jokes. So like I did my 15 up top, did well, brought up the 2 features. But then like bringing up a headliner, dude, when that everyone's there for this person and seeing that room erupt is like crazy.
That's like peak comedy, man.
Huh?
That's peak comedy.
It's just like, and I was just like, I wouldn't want to be him. I'm just glad to experience this. I'm just glad to be in this moment right now. But especially for a guy who's like been doing comedy for a year and like that's his year in. A year in, I was like trying to fucking not bomb at a 5-minute mic that I paid for. And this guy's like making 10 G's on a show or something like that. But it's like, that was so fucking cool. That was really such a fucking cool experience. And this guy was so fucking famous. They went to the strip club afterwards and they shouted him out. They shouted him out. They're like, hey, Kevin Herrera's in the house.
In Connecticut, that's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. They gave us like a bunch of fucking stacks and we just throwing fucking money. Just pretty much like, you know, balling out.
Do you see yourself recording 30 minutes or an hour soon?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Probably like 30 minutes. I just want to get better, man. That's all I really want. There's like, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if you're ever like, oh, I'm good. You know, I think that comes probably when you've done specials and you understand
you mean what? Like good with the amount of time that you have or good?
Like, yeah, with the product that what I want to put out, whatever that is, whether it's like 30 or an hour, you know, I think everybody's first special. I mean, but this dude, like some of my favorite comics, like, I love them because of their first hour, their first special or something, you know? So I don't know. I mean, I just really want to keep getting better and then just like kind of make the first product better. But you know, it's always going to be like not perfect and you just kind of learn from it and then you make it better every time after that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just like, it's always like the next joke. what I really would like is just to start doing more time, start doing like 30 minutes regularly, and figuring out how to do like, because I feel like I have 30 minutes, but doing 30 minutes is another beast.
Yeah.
You know, that pacing and the you know, so that's what that's like my goal probably for next year.
When's the last time you were back in Venezuela?
I was like 15.
And no plans to go back to your family there?
No, I already moved out. It's too bad.
So what do you mean by that? Besides the, you know, I feel like all of us kind of know about the inflation down there, but maybe not beyond that.
I mean, like
things are just very expensive.
I think it's, things are very expensive, but then it's put people in like a very dire situation, you know? So it's like when things are more like, I mean, dude, like groceries are like unaffordable for just people in like middle and lower class, you know? Like I've heard like things of like people having to hunt stray animals for food, that kind of shit. I mean, like it's always like,
how did it get to that point though? So like, did this happen when you were living there initially, or what?
Socialism. So it was really dangerous. So the reason we moved was because we got robbed. Yeah. So my dad, I was 6 years old. But we were like, I mean, if they were going to rob anybody, they picked the right family to rob. We were doing really well. We had a 2-story penthouse apartment, maid, chauffeur, like the whole deal. We had a bidet, like a separate fixture bidet in our apartment, which I think is a sign of luxury. But it was like I think it was like a weekend. My dad went out to get breakfast, and I didn't find this out until some guys just like saw him, held him up at gunpoint. They were like, "Take us back to your place," and he did because he didn't care about the well-being of his family. No, I don't know how that transponded.
Yeah,
but I ended up, anyways, found out that. So I ran down. My dad's like gets home. I run down. And
say hi.
Yeah, my dad's like this. He's like this at me, and then he's got a guy behind him,
like masked up or
hat and sunglasses. Clearly, like my dad has a gun to his back, and he goes, "Relax, stay calm, everything's gonna be fine." And then they grab me, they put me in the elevator with a guy. He's got a gun to me, and dude, I so lucky that I was like that young when that happened, because. You're not aware of how like.
Are you an only child, by the way?
No, I got an older sister. She wasn't there. Fucking bitch. No, she's good. She's great. She's the shit. But so this guy held a gun to my head, and you can like, I was so happy that I was like so young, because you don't understand what real danger is, you know, because you're just like, you see movies and you see guns and stuff, and you like, that's like this kind of, and this guy was clearly the bitch of the group, because I could sense how nervous he was. I could sense how nervous this whole situation made him. And like, he was talking to me about like cartoons and candy. So he was just trying to keep me calm. And meanwhile, I can hear.
You remember that?
Yeah. That was like my first memory. That was like the first thing that was like ingrained in me. I remember like some minor things before that, but that was like, will never forget that. But then I could hear like my mom screaming. So they're just like kind of like ransacking our apartment. And then, so then they all come back into the elevator. We go all the way down. And I remember this, they go, so we had like a storage unit kind of in the parking garage downstairs of the building. And they go, "We want you guys to squat down, put your hands over your head, and just kind of duck walk to the storage unit. Whatever you do not look to the left. Whatever you do not look to the left." And when you tell a little kid, don't do something, they're going to do it. So I went, and then it's like I was kind of crouched down, and I just kind of peered over to my left, and there's just a guy crouched down with like a semi-automatic rifle pointed at us. I'm like, oh, that's why he told us not to look to the left. And then they just let us in there. They closed the storage unit, and then we just waited there and then we just yelled, "Help, help, help," till somebody came by and let us out. And I didn't learn this until probably like 2 years ago. The guys that robbed us were police officers. Yeah, they were just cops and that's just, you know, there's just like, that's just the level of corruption that existed in the 90s. You know what I mean? And then because of that, like my mom just like rightfully so just couldn't sleep, just couldn't get on with her life, or just couldn't get on with her day to day.
How much older was your sister than you when you were 6?
5 years, so she was 11. She was saying, so I think at the time my uncle, her sister, and her husband moved to South Florida. So that's kind of who we moved in with for a little bit temporarily when we first moved to America.
How did you find out the cops did it?
I don't know. My mom just told me that recently.
And how much stuff did they take? Like, what was the estimated value?
So I don't know any of that. That's the thing. I never got into those details, and I don't assume that it was enough to like, you know, I mean, it's all material possessions.
Yeah, it's not your house,
right? It's not our house. It's not our bank accounts or anything like that.
Cars or no?
No. So, but I think it was just like the mental damage.
Did they take jewelry and art?
I think things like that. Yeah, and but yeah, to be honest, it's never like I'm so bad at like, dude, I barely know anything about like my heritage. I just don't ask these questions. And these are questions that bounce around in my head, but I just like me and my, like, it's just, my mom don't have like very deep conversations. So like to get into that would be kind of weird and would just like open up these other things that I'm like not ready to talk about her with, because I don't think she's emotionally intelligent enough. But dude, it's like my uncle, her brother, her twin brother, loves watches. He's a big fan of watches. So he would, like, whenever he come to America and stuff, he would buy watches. And and when you're stuck in like gridlock traffic, like here in New York, when you're just fucking there, motorbikes would zoom by in between cars, and then he would just be like this with the watch on his wrist, and they would just put a gun to his head, like, give me your watch. Fuck, give him his watch, and then they take off. So like he'd have to like keep his watch off, like when he's driving,
even when the window's up.
Yeah,
because they could just put the gun on the window.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do? You're stuck. You're in gridlock traffic. You know what I mean? And I think to my cousin, I don't know the full extent of the story, but my cousin got kidnapped, and again, that was just for like just money. It's all money. It's all like, at least I think it was.
How old was he or her?
Oh, he was a grown man. Like he was in his, he's like, he's doing some shady shit now, and it does not look good. But whatever.
He still lives in Venezuela?
He does business in Venezuela.
Is that how he got caught up with those people in the first place, doing shady things?
Yeah, he does like white collar shit.
What do you mean by that?
Just like, just like I love this word, economist. That's like what my mom is, like my uncle, him. They're like economistas. They're like economists, and I'm like, what does that really mean? It's like you're just dealing with finances, and there's ways of like moving stuff around. And I think from what I've heard, I think he's owed not good people's a lot of money. So, but hey man, he's kind of fucked over family too. So I'm like, hey, to each their own, dude. You want to be a fucking piece of shit to us? It's like, what do you think's gonna happen? You're just gonna fucking get away with it scot-free for your whole life. But anyways, he got kidnapped, and then my uncle, I think he had kidnappers insurance, so he just paid the ransom out just to get, because a lot of time it's just like, I think these people just want money. They just want money, But now I think it's becoming
even worse.
Yeah, I think it's much more like just violent. It's a lot more violent.
Like anybody who has money, they're going after.
Yeah, I think it's like
citizens.
Yeah, because it's not so much of like,
bro, kidnappers,
survival.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not so much about survival. It's about like tearing down the system that's in place, and just like utter like just frustration and like just a complete like not race war, but like wealth war.
Kidnappers insurance, that's insane. So you pay a premium every month based on how much money you make, and it's just basically like you'd have insurance for any other thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Is there any hope for Venezuela as far as you see? I know you're not
I'm not really up to it too much, but I don't know, man. I mean, I have no idea. It would have to just be like, it's just the corruption so deep, and then like
so the government needs to be overturned.
Kinda. I think it just needs to be like a complete reset, which is
maybe throw in Bitcoin or something.
The thing is, it's such a fucking wealthy nation because of all the oil. It's always been like a huge fucking just an oil country on the entire planet. It's beautiful. We have fucking the most beautiful women. Like, it makes no sense, but it's like, but at the end of the day, dude, it's like corruption and greed is crazy. And power, it's like that fucks people up so much.
Is it easy to travel to? I know you might not know because you haven't been there in a while, but is it easy to travel there and then leave as well? Like if an American went to Venezuela on vacation, is it easy to get a visa and then come back easily? Like you stay at a hotel, or no, it's still dangerous? That
I'm not sure of. My mom will go back. She'll go back for like a 24-hour trip because she's doing business. So she's always like, everything's been fine. Like she knows. My mom moved when she was like in her 30s, you know,
to South Florida.
Yeah. So like she's a hip, you know, she's savvy. She knows the places and shit.
Would you ever think about digging into her experience in Venezuela?
For sure, but dude, that would open up. My mom is emotionally retarded. I love her, but she just like my sister once was like, you know, we were talking about like the conversations of like mental health just come up naturally, and my sister's like, you know, I have like anxiety and depression. She goes, why are you depressed? I don't understand why you're depressed. And my sister's like, well, you know, mom, like our upbringing was a little bit rough when we moved here, you know. It's like, especially, you know, because of the divorce. And then my mom just goes, what divorce? Like, bitch, what are you talking about? You know, it's like people are fucking crazy. It's like, what do you want to put on this air that you're this perfect person? It's like, you're not. Just be fucking who you are. And it's all right that you went through these things. But that ain't for me to fucking tap into. It's for her and her therapist, but she ain't going to one.
Damn, bro. I can't believe we got to that freaking insanely crazy part at the end of this episode, man. Igor, that's definitely going to go in the beginning of this episode. So we're hooking you guys in, dude, because this is an interesting fellow over here. Igor, before we get out of here, man, thanks so much for coming on the pod. This is a great freaking episode.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, dude. So let us know where we can find you on IG, anywhere else. And if you have anything exciting coming up, please let us know. This episode will be out this coming Thursday. So if you have stuff this weekend, please.
Awesome. Yeah, just social media, the Igor Martinez, THE Igor Martinez, and listen to my fucking I say the Igor Martinez is when people start typing the letter V. I'm like, no,
Igor Martinez.
Yeah, I'm like
the THE boys and girls. All right,
and Puck Sluts Hockey Podcast.
Love it. Yeah. Igor, thanks so much for coming on.
Appreciate
guys.
It, man.
Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.